challenge that we took upon ourselves to make a hard art-heavy game.
You can wipe out the enemy in one single elephant humanoid hybrid characters, combination of different games and mythologies that inspired us to develop the world of Artifice.
Hi, I'm Neeraj, the founder and lead developer of Silvine Game Studios.
And I am Abhik Nath, co-founder and designer at Silvine Game Studios. And you're watching us on Games Made in India by IGN India.
So it's been close to 13 years that since we started our journey back from ICAD. We studied, we did a PG diplomas over there. And after that, we started our careers at Game Shastra. And we worked together in a few companies. Eventually, we co-founded and developed Asura at Ogre Studio. Soon after that, we met again at Jumpstart. And after that, we decided it's time again to experiment with another indie startup. And that's why Silvine Game Studio was born. And Artifice is our debut game from Silvine Game Studios.
Yeah, so turn-based strategy games have always, been. We've always enjoyed playing them, and both Neeraj and I, we want to kind of explore that idea as much as we could, but bringing a fresh take to it. Essentially, we wanted to see. We did a bunch of pen and paper prototypes, and once we decided on this idea, we wanted to take it slow. We wanted to figure out what would be the hook of the game and how to expand on it. As long as the idea makes sense, as long as it's scalable, we were confident that regardless of whether we are developing it in India or anywhere else, it could reach to the mass audience and reach to the people who actually enjoy turn-based strategy games.
So when we started our company, it was just me, Obik, and Ekta. We were trying to figure out how to go forward with the development. Eventually, we realized the game is more challenging to develop, and we wanted another developer to help. And that's when Vishal joined forces. And fast forward 2 years from there, Sanjeev joined, where we needed more dev support and helped with the QA. Being a team size of 5, our expertise were primarily in the programming and the design side of things. We lacked the art support. Quickly, we did realize that it's a difficult journey forward, and we tried to reach out to our friends who could help us. And finally, we found Abdul Rashid. He helped us figure out the art side of things, and hats off to him that with whatever effort he was able to pull off within a shorter span of time, the game looks so great now, and we are really proud of what we were able to achieve in the last 2 years. So essentially, that was a big challenge that we took upon ourselves to make a hard art-heavy game when we didn't have the strengths to support that. But fortunately, we found a friend who could help us out within that. Our primary sources of inspiration were turn-based strategy games, and XCOM 2 and Into the Breach were 2 games that we really loved, and we wanted to build something along those lines. So we were trying to capture the essence of those games, trying to bring like a condensed experience from that, and Artifice was born from that.
So Artifice is essentially a game about setting up ambushes and playing mind games with the enemy. The hook of the game is essentially you need to set up an attack zone rather than directly attacking the enemy. And during the enemy's turn, if they land over the attack zone, then they get attacked by your champion. So essentially you have a team of 3 champions that you can position around the battlefield and place your attack zones in such a manner that when the enemies come, you can have a combination of chain reaction of these attacks triggering all at once, and you can wipe out the enemy in one single turn. The challenge is the enemy can do the same thing, so you need to pay attention to both your positioning as well as the enemy's attack zones, and that's where the whole idea of where you can position, where you can such that your champions survive the attack but you can set up a counter attack which can decimate the enemy forces. We have a whole diverse range of champions. They all belong from different factions. Some of them are kind of inspired from games like we used to enjoy playing Warcraft. So some of them are kind of derived from those games, but it's very loosely based. Um, and in terms of their abilities, they are mostly derived first in terms of their mechanics, and then the narrative and the backstory of them is fleshed out based on that. So, say for example, there's a character called Zephyr who is a avian mage. Essentially, the ability is to he can shoot out gust of wind, which can displace the enemy, deal damage to the enemy, but also push them back. From there, we kind of figured out, okay, what kind of characterization would fit that role. So that hence he became Zephyr, the avian mage. Even though we looked at the characters to be as diverse as possible, so that's why you see, there are some mushroom humanoid kind of characters. They are called Shroomkin or the Bolatuza Empire. There are elephant humanoid hybrid characters called the Zaharin Empire. Has Egyptian / Persian look to them, but they are elephant based. So again, it's a combination of different games and mythologies that inspired us to develop the world of Artifice.
So right now we are focusing on Artifice's development from early access to 1.0. That's the primary goal right now, and parallelly we have already started brainstorming on our next game ideas, and we want to see what different genres we can explore on that. So that is something that we are very excited about. So yeah, that's essentially our plans. My advice would be to make games. Like, there's never a better time to start making games now. The more you make, the more experience you get. Scope wisely, start development as soon as possible, because that's when you'll truly learn. No matter how much you study, it's not going to help. I mean, I'm not denying that study doesn't help, but it really matters about how many games you can make. So that's when the true learning is achieved.
The other advice is to don't be afraid of failure. It is bound to happen. If it's your road to success is built on failures, so you need never be afraid of that.
Yeah, it's like much easier to start a game. You're super motivated, but
Yes,
it's the finish line that's the most challenging to reach to. But once you do, the amount of confidence you get out of it is insane.
yes. There's a lull period, but once you go through that phase, once you see everything converging and coming together, it's like the most satisfying part of your job. So yeah,
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
keep at it. That's all we could advise.
Thank you for watching this episode about Artifice. If you like this episode, check it out on Steam.
If you enjoyed watching this episode, like and share with your friends and subscribe to IG in India.